there an L? I thought it was Wolken. Dan Wolken, but it's Wolken.
It's Wolken.
I thought it was woke. Like
you're the first person to make that joke. That's a good one.
No, I'm not going to be the first person to stop making the joke. Can you change your Twitter to @Jabroni?
Guys, I'm so sorry about my internet.
Don't worry about it. Let's go.
Okay. 5, 4.
Go, Sting.
Clemson with a face plant.
Okay, here we go. Well, guys, it's that time again for another 3rd and 3 show. I am your host, Stephen Ray, and over there we have Clemson Tom in his Austin 316 shirt, and then over there, of course, we have Joey, who is, man, Alabama barely got past those.
Whoa, time out. Whoa, don't even go there. The Clemson Tom's team almost got beat by the Bumblebees. Shut up.
That's where I was.
Yeah, but at least we can admit it. At least we can admit we had an off game. You guys have an off game. You're like, oh,
you almost got beat by an unranked Georgia Tech team. Shut up. And then I told you last week the Bumblebees were going to bring it, and you was like, no, Clemson. I told you before the show even started, before you even came to the CTS. I told you Clemson is not going to be a powerhouse, and you laughed at me, and now you are feeling the effects and the knowledge that I bring to this show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3rd and 3. Stingray, what's up?
We actually have a new guest and segment on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the very talented and very beautiful, I might add, Jacqulyn Phillips. Jacqulyn, how are you doing tonight, darling?
Doing great. How are y'all doing tonight?
Good.
Good, Jacqulyn. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. How you doing?
Sorry, I'm stretching. I got Dan Wolken coming on later. Never know what might pop off. Like his
Speaking
head.
of popping off, can you believe they're still together? After all this time, after all the shit they've been through, they're still together.
Who?
Your butt cheeks, boo. Ray, how you doing, babe?
I'm good. Thank you for asking.
Can I come be a mermaid in your ocean?
Welcome to the show.
So can I come be a mermaid in your ocean?
Sure. Yeah, that'll work.
Well, let's get down to brass tacks. On Saturday, let's look for number 1 Alabama to beat up Southern Miss after a very close game against Florida. Number 7 Texas A&M goes up against number 16 Arkansas. Will Traylon Burks of Arkansas have another big game like he did against Georgia Southern? Is Texas A&M going to show up to play? Or are they going to choke against a tough SEC team like they almost did against Colorado? Mississippi State takes on LSU, and number 2 Georgia goes up against Vanderbilt. As for Clemson, well, they're playing another ACC team, NC State. Clemson hasn't been looking good this season against ranked and unranked teams. Question everybody's asking is, will Dabo have the boys ready? Because NC State would love nothing more than to knock off Clemson. In NFL news, Joey, man, I'm sorry. Your Falcons suck.
Hey.
That's all there is. Back to you, Stingray.
What the hell was that about the Falcons? Hey, first of all, Jacqulyn, you can't be talking about my Falcons that way.
The only person that ever talks about my butt cheeks like that's your wife.
What did I tell you about talking about my wife? You're going to get a very stern email right now. Excuse me.
You sound like Dan Wolken. You're going to get an email. I went to Vanderbilt.
Shut up. I'm writing.
I went to Vanderbilt. I played tennis.
Did we just talk?
How do you know Dan Wolken plays tennis?
Tom, did we just learn something? Is Joey married to Jacqulyn?
No, it's not. No, he wishes.
What?
I don't think Joey's married to anybody. Look at that. He wears a hat and sunglasses indoors, and he bought $20 blinds from like Big Lots. Look at
those blinds are $100. I'm not.
You got ripped off.
I'm not going to tell you again.
You got ripped off.
Those blinds were $100.
Who told you that? Dan Wolken with his lies?
You know, when he comes on, he's probably
I'm going to be nice because my main man right here, Stingray, is trying to get a real job in the media. So I'm gonna be a little nice until he comes on. I'm not gonna be nice until he comes on, but no promises. I might go a little bit.
When he comes on, he goes. Man, shut up.
I saw that same hat at a truck stop. Quit being poor. Invest in yourself. We need a new hat though, for real, man. This shit looks old as. Can I send you a hat? Like, come on, man. Go to Fanatics and buy a new hat.
We don't even have a Fanatics here.
It's online, Sting. They ship it to you. It's crazy. I need you to invest in this store called Amazon, man. You're going to make a killing. They ship things to you. It can be there in one day, man.
All right. Let's go to the football news, man.
We needed Jacqulyn to be, she wasn't sexy enough.
What the
you want her to do, Sting? Be in a brawl?
I mean,
Sting, we want her classy, man. She did exactly what I want her to do.
Okay.
This ain't Auburn, Sting.
Well, she ain't gonna come on with on a pole.
Saying LSU.
God, she's a married woman with a son.
She's got kids, Steven.
Okay.
That's going to go on the show, too, by the way. I'm going to lie to you.
Do you think Dan Wolken's favorite movie is Brokeback Mountain, or do you think it's The Little Panthers?
Jesus loves me. Can we talk about some football?
Let's go on ahead now and talk about and separate the pretenders from the contenders. Who do you guys feel like is a contender, and who do you guys feel like are pretenders through the first 3 weeks of the season? I will start. I think Ohio State is a pretender because of their defense. I think Oregon is a contender because of the way that they pushed around Ohio State and they've looked good in all of the other games. I am not sold on Texas A&M just yet because their offense is atrocious right now, and they've got Arkansas coming up this week. We will find out. And unfortunately, Tom, because of the offensive issues, I am not sold on your Clemson Tigers. I still think they are a pretender, not a contender just yet.
Honestly, Sting, I have to agree with you 100% on that. I don't think we're contenders this year unless we magically get it together. I know the players that were pissed off this past week. You know, they were talking hard in the interviews, but talk is cheap. You know, and I would tell them straight up: if y'all want to act pissed off, play pissed off. Start putting some people on their asses. You know, pick up a blitz. Give my quarterback a little bit more time than 2 seconds as soon as he catches it to throw the ball. I would say, DJ, why don't you start throwing it about 15 yards? Why don't you throw it 10 yards? These bubble screens, you know, give my boy Shipley some room to run here. But if – God bless it. They pissed me off so bad Saturday because we recruit to a level. We have coaching that is at a level. So I expect you to play at this level. And so when you play at a level that is beneath your ability, beneath the coaching ability, but just beneath everything, I'm going to give you a bad game. You know, it happens. But to play the way we have played this season is – I'm not going to say it's embarrassing because they're going out there doing what they can do. But they need to suck it up. They need to get it together. They need to bow their back, get their meat on. And in the interviews this week with the media, they were saying they were pissed off and it was on, you know, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's cool. That's a great thing to say on a Tuesday morning at 10:30 a.m. when you're talking with the local media. What's going to happen at 3:30 when you're in Raleigh, North Carolina, and you got Dave Dorn who wants to stick it to you? All right? Talk's cheap. Go put somebody on Saturday and make me a believer. But for right now, yeah, I agree. We're a contender.
You know, Stingray knows this. There's a lot of changes going on in the CTS right now, and being part of the CTS Enterprises Incorporated, I talked to a lot of the board members, and the board members agree that Florida is a powerhouse right now. We believe Florida will probably be in the top 4 in the playoffs, if not in the SEC championship game. They're going to play against Alabama in the SEC championship game. They're going to lose that Alabama in the SEC championship game. However, so with that said, they're probably not going to make the top 4. With that said, Georgia, Oregon, they're going to be.
They take Bama in the rematch. I'm calling it now.
They're going to what?
If they play Bama one more time, they'll beat Alabama.
No, they're not going to beat Alabama. No.
We're talking about football. We're not talking about baseball.
Well, yeah, we beat Florida just now.
If they somehow make it through the East.
Stingray, you was nodding. What were you about to say?
Makes it to Atlanta to play Alabama one more time. Yeah, they're going to beat Alabama.
I don't believe you. Stingray, you saying something.
It's a fact.
Stingray, you saying something. Go ahead.
Florida is not going to make it because they are going to lose to the team in Georgia, the Bulldogs, and it's going to be Kirby Smart's year again this year to win the East. So Alabama will face Georgia in Atlanta for another championship.
I disagree
opportunity.
with you.
Nah, Florida beats Georgia. Florida's going to beat Georgia.
I hate to say it because I like Georgia. People, Alabama, Georgia fans think is a rivalry between Alabama and Georgia. To be honest with you, Alabama fans really don't hate Georgia. I honestly want to see Georgia win a national championship.
Yes,
I personally do. I just when you playing against Alabama, I don't want you to see win. But if they were playing against someone else like Auburn or something, whoever, I want Georgia to win. I really, after 40 years, I want you to win a national championship. I really do.
I don't. But I hate Georgia.
I hate Florida.
You hate everybody who's not you, and that's a good thing.
That made no sense.
You should start hating people that have
my point is this. My point is this. I really think that Florida's going to be a powerhouse, and I think
measure the window for me so I can send you something for Christmas.
Those blinds are $100. Stop playing with my blinds. Florida will see Alabama in the SEC championship, and they're going to play Alabama again. That's my prediction right there.
I would like to say one more thing before we go to the next topic. I'm not sold so much on Alabama yet because Alabama.
What you're not sold on? They're a powerhouse.
Alabama has not been able to establish a good running game yet because of that offensive line, and they've put way too much on Bryce Young. And
they had one bad game. They had one bad game against a powerhouse like Florida. Come on.
Just
you know what? Let's when we get Dan Wolken on. We're going to talk about that game, and he's probably going to say the same thing I'm saying, that Florida is a great team, and Alabama had a tough game. That's all.
Why do you act like Dan's opinion actually matters?
Dan is a very educated man, unlike you.
Because he went to Vanderbilt makes him educated?
Hey, you stalking this motherfucker?
That doesn't mean shit. Oh, now he works for USA Today. It's the comic book of newspapers. It doesn't matter.
Why won't you do this?
Jabroni with any kind of thing can be a sports writer online right now.
What makes you think he went to Vanderbilt?
His opinion and it's wrong.
What makes you think he went to Vanderbilt?
Huh?
What makes you think he went to Vanderbilt?
It's called Google.com. Do you not have that in Alabama?
I don't know. I bet you he went somewhere else. I bet you $5 he went somewhere else.
I bet you he went to Vanderbilt because I Googled it.
All right, ask him.
I will ask him because I know it's true. Also, he plays tennis because I looked him up online. He's posting these tennis pictures with like one of those sweaters with like the V-neck that goes real deep, and he's swinging.
He ain't that smart. He didn't go to Vanderbilt.
He went to Vanderbilt. Tell him right now.
He probably went to Alabama.
If you went to Alabama, no.
Or Troy.
His head's big enough to go to Alabama. He's got like a 5 head. If he ever went to the military, he'd salute like back here, like, yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to have to...
You look like an Atari. There's the pixels, dog. The pixels.
Yeah, man. What's up with your internet thing?
I don't know. I don't have a clue.
Fuck you. It's not. I wasn't talking about your face or anything. I was
okay.
Atari. You don't even know what Atari is.
Sting went hard in the paint.
Yeah.
Bro.
Man,
It's Sting, bro.
internet.
What if it's our internet that's messing up Sting's and Sting has the good internet? You know what I mean?
Well, Joey, real quick, what 2 questions do you have for Dan?
But I don't know. Give me 2 questions.
Ask him how big his vagina is, and ask him if he wipes front to back.
Wow.
You Dan.
Hey man, when Dan comes on, be nice for real. Seriously.
Yeah, I'll be real nice. Be nice like France. I bet it's his favorite country.
Clemson Tom, for real. No bullshit. Be respectful and be nice.
I will do my best. However, I am going to ask him what kind of spritzer he drinks, because that son of a does not drink real man's. He looks like an guy. He probably goes around Atlanta sampling different IPA. Pinkies out. I already know he went to Vanderbilt.
I do have one quick thing to say about that. You know how Brian Haydad and Brandon Walker were always talking shit about me? Dan Wolken is known as a troll. However, Dan has never said a crossword or a bad thing about Stingray. That's the reason I have respect for him.
So, yeah, be respectful.
I cut my finger on the golf course today, man.
Chicken.
Flushed my 7-iron, man. Went, cut it open.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. We got the outspoken, the controversial, probably one of the best reporters at USA Today. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Dan Wolken. Dan, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing good, Dan. It's an honor and a privilege. Now, we all saw what happened this weekend. We had a lot of upsets. When I say upsets, I mean almost upsets. Alabama looked kind of sluggish. What did you think about Alabama football team this past Saturday?
Yeah, I don't know if that game really exposed a huge weakness in Alabama. That's certainly possible. It's also possible that they got up 21-0 and kind of thought they were just going to cruise to the finish line in that game, and then all of a sudden Florida kind of kicked into gear and a couple plays turned the momentum, and Florida started to actually believe they could play with them, and maybe Alabama wasn't quite ready for that kind of dogfight. You know, they only got the ball once in the third quarter. Florida had it twice, and then all of a sudden now going into the fourth quarter, you've got a real football game. Saban said they got tired, maybe a conditioning issue. It certainly can be really hot and steamy down in Gainesville at this time of year, and so maybe that had something to do with it. You don't really expect Alabama to get pushed around their defensive front like Florida was able to, but at the same time, Florida's played them well, for the last couple years. So I still think Alabama's the best team. I still think they've got significant upside as they go through the season, and nobody's going to go through an entire year without getting challenged. So at the end of the day, people are kind of talking about them like they lost the game. They won the game, and it was a road win against a very good team. So I'm not too worried about Alabama, but I certainly think going forward, kind of watching how they look on the defensive line is going to be interesting.
Well, one thing I noticed that one of the refs totally missed that holding call. That was number one. But we definitely saw a lot of almost upset. We know Texas A&M almost got beat by Colorado. Clemson almost got beat by the Bumblebees. And Alabama, of course, now looking forward, we got Southern Miss. Now, after that, there's Ole Miss. What do you think Alabama's going to do against Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss?
Well, I know that they're not going to take them lightly. I think within that Alabama building, anytime going forward that they play Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, I think that's a game that Alabama's going to be up for. I don't think they're going to catch Alabama by surprise. Obviously, when a team gets out there and scores 60 points, and hell, they could have scored 80 if they wanted to against Tulane the other night. They're a dangerous team. They've got arguably the best quarterback in the country. Certainly one of them in Matt Corral. So you look at that game last year, Alabama kind of needed to score every time they had the ball to make sure they didn't put themselves in a bad spot against Ole Miss. I think a lot of people are going to be picking Ole Miss to win that game.
Right.
I think Alabama will get the job done, but Ole Miss is not a team that you can just kind of write off anymore. They can play.
Yes. Well, looking outside of the SEC, over the first 3 weekends of the season, which team or teams has surprised you the most this year?
Well, surprised in a bad way maybe is Ohio State. I mean, they have not looked good. Last week against Tulsa was a very – I don't even know how to describe that performance, but Tulsa, who's not a good team,
right,
they were right there in the fourth quarter, deep into the fourth quarter. The final score was actually very misleading in that game, and they're giving up 500 yards to pretty much everybody. So I'm very disappointed with the way Ohio State looks at this point in the year because, even though they don't have Justin Fields and it's a little bit of a different team, like they recruit similar to Alabama and everybody in that tier. So they're not lacking talent. They're just not playing well. On the good side, I'm not sure there's been, anyone who just kind of jumps off the page yet. Like, I'm a little surprised Oklahoma State is 3-0. I don't think they're a great team or anything like that, but they're 3-0 and they're doing well. They're hanging in there, and I think they're going to give themselves a chance to be competitive in the Big 12. Michigan has looked better, I think, than maybe some people thought early on. Obviously Michigan State, another team that people didn't pay much attention to. They're 3-0. Again, not a world beater. So I think that's, to me, kind of where we're at is there's a lot of teams that have gotten off to nice starts, but I don't think anyone is out there like, oh, yeah, really, really watch this team because they're a threat to the power structure. I haven't seen that yet.
Especially not Clemson.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I come out?
My next question is going to be, why do you feel like the quarterback up there and the offense at Clemson just hasn't clicked yet? Because obviously they've got a really good defense, but for some reason it just looks like the offense is just a step behind. What do you ultimately think they need to do in order to get the offense working at Clemson?
Well, I'm not a football coach, so I may be the wrong person to ask about what the fix is. But from what I've seen, first of all, their offensive line play has not been very good, and I think you can start there, and that's a problem. And I think it's kind of deteriorated over the last couple years. When Clemson has beaten Alabama in those 2 championship games,
we don't talk about that here.
I think one of the biggest reasons is that their offensive line has actually stood in there and done a really good job in those games, and they've gone toe-to-toe physically with Alabama.
Yes.
This year, they don't look really prepared to do that. I also think this idea that you just sort of roll in quarterbacks one after the other and you don't have any drop-off it's not the way the real world works. And as talented as DJ is, Trevor Lawrence is a guy that you might get once every decade if you're lucky. And so maybe there is, more of a drop-off than people thought. They don't seem to really be interested or trust him to throw the ball down the field and really kind of stretch the defense a little bit to try to open things up that way. And you had a guy last year in Travis Etienne who could create a lot of things on his own. So I think it's all those things. So I don't know what the fix is.
Right.
But just as you look at Clemson through 3 games, they clearly have all those issues, and I don't know if that's something that they can fix by the end of the year. I think they'll get better. They have to get better, but I don't know if you're going to look up at the end of the year and say, "Oh yeah, they totally figured it out." That doesn't seem realistic to me.
Okay.
You know what, Dan? I totally agree with you 100%. Clemson Tom, you look kind of flustered. What's going on?
Oh, nothing. I'm just listening to a bunch of jabronis talk bad about my team. That's all. You almost lost to Florida, so I don't want to hear it, Joey. Goodness.
We don't talk about that here. Go ahead and ask Dan some
We'll talk
questions.
about it. At least I can admit we're having a down year.
Down, you almost got beat by the Bumblebees. Why don't you talk to Dan?
I know it was rough.
He's our guest of honor.
It was rough, and this Saturday doesn't look too promising either. So Dan, you are infamous in the good Lord's town called Clemson, South Carolina, with a bunch of articles that you've written, and I read a few of them. I wouldn't say you're not welcome to go, but I want to welcome you to stop by Clemson and check it out. So
I've been to Clemson like a dozen times, and it's not like I've never been to Clemson.
It sounds like you've never been there.
I've been there. I've been there a bunch of times. Been to a bunch of different games. I've been to Dabo's house, not his new house, his old house.
He let you there? He let you in?
Yeah.
No. What'd you go there for?
I've been to that golf course that's up there. I've been all over Clemson. Not that there's like a lot of places to go in Clemson. It's pretty small. Like you can kind of drive through it in one,
So what gives you the right?
What gives me the right for what?
Exactly. Why do you hate us so much? How about that?
I don't hate anybody.
That's my followers to ask you questions. I'm not going to ask the questions. Some of them I got, but I'm going to ask some of them. I feel like you hate us.
What's there to hate?
I don't know. You put out all these articles on us, and then I'm sitting there, and we went at you as we should have, because we're a sensitive fan base. I'm not going to deny that. I mean, any one of us right now could tweet out, "We're not a good football team," and then like 50,000 Clemson fans would come at you. It just is what it is. But I mean, you had all these articles, and it felt like for the longest time that you had something out for us.
I don't know about all these articles. I mean, I really don't know what you're talking about. I do know that when coaches say stupid stuff, I will call them out for saying stupid stuff.
What did we say? What did Dabo say that was stupid?
Dabo had a couple moments over the last couple years that I think he kind of stuck his foot in his mouth.
Like what?
So that's all. I mean, that's all it is.
What did he say?
Look, here's the thing about Dabo, and I really like Dabo. I think I've known Dabo a long time. I think he's a good guy. But I also think that he's one of those people who his entire worldview is shaped by his own story. In other words, this is a guy who, grew up in poverty, in outside of Birmingham, Alabama, terrible circumstances with his father, his family. His mom had all these health issues. He, walks on at Alabama. His mom's living with him. All the stuff, all the stories that we all know. And it's an unbelievable story. And like Dabo was able to, through that experience that he had, end up in this position where he's coaching, Clemson, and he's making $9 million a year, and he's winning national championships. And this is just my opinion, is that he now looks at the world to say, if I can do all this because of, how I lived my life, that anybody can do that as well.
So it's the American dream.
Huh?
It's like the American dream.
Right. But the reality is that not everybody can do that. In fact, hardly anyone can do that. And so I just think that sort of leads him to an unrealistic worldview about certain things in college football. And so, when he's talked about the idea of players getting paid, or, last year where he just basically, he said it was going to go away by the fall, and all that stuff. It's just sort of this Pollyannish view of the world that I think there are times he needs to be called out on it. It's not a personal thing. It's just my job as a sports columnist is to take what the most prominent people in sports do and say, and to sort of put it through the prism of how I look at it. And form an opinion, but like it's not a personal thing, and I don't think I've ever been unfair. So
I didn't take it personal.
I took it. I kind of did. I mean, I can see what you're saying with all that, but half the stuff I don't. He is kind of off the wall in his quick remarks where he's like, all in or yeah. I mean, some of the stuff it was just. I mean, I guess you're forming an opinion, and then it's clickbait. It felt like a little bit here and there, and you seem like a nice guy. I mean, I kind of went at you a little bit hard on Twitter, but I mean,
what
that's
did you
just
say, Clemson Tom?
Do what?
What did you say?
I did ask you to do a charity boxing match with me, and the proceeds would go to a charity. Did you see that one?
I hardly ever check my replies, to be honest with you, so I probably didn't.
We could though,
but I don't think boxing would be for me. I could do some sort of tennis match or something like that.
I figured it'd be tennis or something like that.
Well, I'm good at tennis, so I'm not good at anything else.
Are you good at golf?
I used to be okay at golf, but I stopped playing.
I will bet you $20,000 my son can beat you at golf.
I don't doubt it. I mean, if your son's good,
he sucks.
Then I probably could beat him.
No, he's actually pretty damn good.
I used to be okay at golf, but it takes too much time. I don't play anymore.
So there's like a smorgasbord of just, for some reason, you have pissed off all of my peoples. And you roll your eyes. What are you rolling your eyes like that for? It's disrespectful to my peoples. Where'd you go to school, Dan?
If I was worried about pissing people off, I'd have found a different profession. That's just.
Where'd you go to school at, though?
Vanderbilt.
You went where?
Vanderbilt.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Oh, you mean he's highly educated? Oh, okay.
So it's an SEC guy.
I will say that these if the academic standards now are what they are now, if that was back then, I probably wouldn't have gotten in. So I'm not that smart. But.
Oh, Dan, you're one of the top writers at USA Today. Don't sell yourself short. Clemson Tom is just bitter because his team almost got beaten by the Lady Jackets.
I don't know why Clemson fans would have anything to be bitter about. They've won 2 national championships in the last, whatever it is, 6 years.
We do kind of feel that you were unfair in some of your writing, though. That's honestly where it kind of came down to. It felt a little biased. It felt like, honestly, I thought maybe Dabo owed you money. I'm not. Like, that's just.
Well, getting back to this college football season, who do you ultimately see are the final 4 teams in the playoff in 2021?
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to answer just because there's just so many knocks on these teams right now. I think we're heading toward maybe a year where both Alabama and Georgia get in.
Right.
I would not be surprised if that happens. I think we were talking about this on my podcast today. The Big Ten's probably going to have a team in. What if it's Iowa? Iowa is kind of the spoiler. Their schedule is very manageable, and if Ohio State is not the team we thought they were, as of today, maybe Iowa gets in, and then maybe throw in Oregon.
Okay. And a quick follow-up to that, since you mentioned Oregon, were you surprised a couple of weeks ago how physical they were against Ohio State, because they really pushed the Buckeyes around on both sides of the ball?
I'm not real surprised because that's how Mario Cristobal has wanted to design that program, build it from the inside out, from the line of scrimmage out. He's a former offensive lineman, offensive line coach. The huge focus of their recruiting was the line of scrimmage. So, and he was also part of that Alabama system.
Right.
So no, I mean, the fact that they were actually able to do it and execute it against Ohio State on the road, yeah, that did surprise me. I didn't think they were going to be able to do that. But the idea that this is now kind of the manifestation of the program that Cristobal's had in mind all the way, that makes total sense.
Yes.
Question is just, can they sustain it, and then can they go through a season without stubbing their toe, which they've had at least one loss the last couple of years that should not have happened. So I still don't totally trust them, but they're in a good spot right now.
Tom?
Dan, how excited do you get when Baby Gap has a sale on shirts?
When Baby Gap has a sale on shirts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at your Twitter pictures, and everything's kind of a little bit more snug fitting.
Yeah.
And so, do you buy extra medium, or is it more of a small when you wear your clothes?
No, usually stay in that medium range. Medium.
Gotcha.
Medium.
You just like it more of a tight fitting shirt.
I mean, I don't do all these bench presses every single 3 times a week to not wear shirts that show what I'm working with.
What's your favorite spritzer?
My favorite spritzer?
Because you're definitely not drinking beer or liquor.
Oh no, I'm drinking bourbon usually.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You're doing like a Shirley Temple or something.
Oh goodness, no. If I'm drinking beer, I'm drinking IPA. I'm an IPA guy.
You're kind of an IPA guy. I can see it.
Creature Comforts out of Athens, great brewery. If you can find a Tropicalia, I highly recommend it. And then I'm usually drinking bourbon.
What's your favorite bourbon?
So I really like if you know the Old Forester Prohibition style.
I do.
Have you ever had that?
I have actually, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's your answer?
That's my favorite. I mean, that's if you're asking me like what is my favorite bourbon that like I can just easily go get at the.
Because you strike me as like a Truly guy.
I don't even know what that is. What's
Come on,
Truly?
Dan. Look at you. You know what a damn Truly is.
What is Truly? No.
Stinger, what's the sorority girl drinks they always have? The White Claws. You're not a White Claw.
Okay, like White Claw.
You know you drink a White Claw.
White Claw's all right. I don't have any in my refrigerator, but they're all right.
I don't believe you. We need a tour of your refrigerator. You've got to have a Truly or a White Claw in there.
Do not have any what is that called? Spiked seltzer or whatever that is?
Yeah, like a Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Actually, the best spiked seltzer is Bon and Viv. That stuff's pretty good. Have you ever had Bon?
Why are you drinking spritzers?
I'm not. I'm just. I mean, I've had them.
Going to Vanderbilt, drinking spritzers, playing tennis, brother. Golly, can Clemson fans get like an apology article from you?
Tennis is unlike golf. Tennis is a real sport.
The only way I can play tennis is because I bust. I'm trying to hit them right now. But can we get an apology, like an article from you saying, like you're bad, you're sorry, like hey, I kind of went in on you a little bit.
Why should he
we're a good fan base.
I'm not apologizing for Jack. You know what?
He ain't gonna apologize for a damn thing.
I don't know if I can curse on your show. I'm not apologizing for a damn thing.
You should. Your Clemson privileges are revoked. That's all I'm saying. You want to come back? Let me know, and then I'll make sure it's safe. But if you're coming to Clemson, then you're buying the first round.
The streets of Clemson are going to be after me.
That's fine, but you deserve it. But if you want to come to Clemson, hit me up on Twitter, and then we'll go to SO. You'll buy the first round. People might say some things to you that might hurt your feelings. You might need a safe place. We don't have those. And then we can do a tour of Clemson. We'll do it my way. We'll go to every single pub. I'll introduce you. We'll put you in an orange shirt. You'll fit in great.
That'll be a good 20 minutes.
Do what?
That'll be a good 20 minutes.
I promise no one's going to kick first 20 minutes. I don't know after minute 21. It's not going to be 20 minutes. It's going to at least be, like 20 hours. Because when you're with me, we're going to go to different tailgates. I'll take you to the radio station.
There's 20 hours worth of places to go in Clemson?
You have no idea. You need to open your mind. That's what you're too close-minded. It's like the T-shirts cut off the circulation to your brain. You need to start thinking, Dan. I'm here to help you. That's why I'm here for. God put me on this earth. Lord Jesus, have Dan come to Clemson.
He's doing the prayer.
So we can please change his mind on Dabo. He says he loves Dabo, but let's be honest, he doesn't. Come to Clemson. We'll go to SO. Then we'll go to Tiger Town Tavern. I'll buy you a few polos. I promise you. I'll change your mind. We'll go down to the radio station. My good friend Ben Milstead, he'll interview you. You'll change your mind. You'll sit there and be like, I was wrong about Clemson. And then we'll go have good barbecue. Don't listen. You see, when you raise your eyebrows, it creates wrinkles. You're already ugly. Don't get any more wrinkles, Dan.
All right, sounds like good advice.
Help me.
Clemson, let Dan.
When can we? I'll fly to Atlanta. I'll pick you up in the car. I'll rent like an Escalade, something nice. We'll put some spritzers in the back. I'll drive you to Clemson, Dan.
Yeah, this is it's a very nice offer, but I will. I'm sure I'll be back in Clemson sometime soon. It will not be that big of a deal. So
all right,
it might be a big deal. I got to be there, Dan. Let me show you around town. Let me change your mind.
That's Dan's retort. Dan, before you go, I just want to say, man, it was an honor and a privilege to have somebody like you from USA Today to come on this little YouTube
I didn't know they had a
page.
paper anymore.
It's an honor and a privilege, man. We love you, man. We consider you part of the CTS family. Real fast before you go, would you please tell everybody where we can find you on social media and please advertise the podcast?
yeah, at Dan Wolken on Twitter. We got the College Football Fix podcast, which will be dropping a new episode on this week and every week. And at usatoday.com.
Is there an L? I thought it was Woken. Dan Wolken, but it's Wolken.
It's Wolken.
I thought it was woke. Like
You're the first person to make that joke. That's a good one.
No, I'm not going to be the first person to stop making the joke. So that way.
With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we got the one and only Dan Wolken.
Wolken, yeah, you got it.
Okay, with that said,
Can you change it? Can you change your Twitter to @Jabroni?
ladies and gentlemen, we are out.
Well, guys, look, I know y'all don't like him, but I personally want to thank Dan Wolken for coming on 3rd and 3 tonight.
CT, don't you think you're being a little too freaking harsh?
No, I actually thought I went a little soft on him because I was trying to help out my main man Sting because that's his boy. But at the same time, I even brought up the fact that I was going to challenge him to a charity boxing match. He's like, I don't box. Of course he
don't
does.
box. I don't box.
I'm going to go play some tennis.
When I fight you, I'm going to throw a brick at you. But
Dude, bring a brick.
Man, I'm going to
Bring a brick.
I'm gonna
Whatever
bring
you got to do. No, Dan, I'm sorry. Like, he's like, well, that's just my opinion. Of course it is.
He gets paid.
He at us like a daggum Vanderbilt guy. He's like, that's just how I feel. Devil just sometimes says some things, and that's just. And then, of course, at the end, I called him Dan Wolken. He's like, "You're not the first person to make."
I think I introduced him the same way, didn't I? Introduce him?
Yeah, you kind of did. And I loved it. But he's got such like a hierarchy of himself. Where I'm like, bro, calm it down a little bit. I gave him an opportunity to apologize. And he's like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, honestly, you can tell in life who got put in timeout and who got their ass kicked. And that son of a never gotten his ass kicked. Sting, I know that's your boy. I'm going to be cordial with him out of respect for you. But at the end of the day, he's welcome at my tailgate, but he can't have a beer. That's that. If you're from the South,
only
you know
drinking seltzers.
Yeah, seltzers. What kind of bullshit that USA Today? And what was the shit behind him? What was he in his apartment complex's like lobby?
I would like that. I would like to have Dan. I would like to have Dan back on. So
back on what?
Dan. Dan, I appreciate you coming on, man. And sorry about Clemson Tom. You always welcome to come back on the CTS. You never said nothing bad about Alabama. At least that's not what I read. And let's face it, Clemson Tom.
I think Dabo owes him money or something because he's all up in his feels about Clemson and Dabo. So I really don't know.
All right, so can we do upsets? Since
it just proves to show you if you try hard enough and you play enough tennis and you get down on enough balls, then dadgummit, somebody's going to hire you. That's it. He likes to play with balls. That's it. He says he likes to play tennis.
You like to play with balls too.
I offered him $20,000 to beat my son in golf, and he declined. That's all I'm going to say.
I should have beat you.
On
We should
that
move
note,
to Utah and go to Brokeback Mountain. That's all I'm going to say. That's it. Done. Sorry.
okay.
Where bluebirds sing and there's a whiskey spring.
All right. On that note,
I will square him up at a bar and buy him whatever he wants.
5 across the eyes.
5 across. It'll be 10 across the eye. It'll be so many. Old boy can't count. Like,
by the way,
go all in on him, man. I got people texting me right now. Did you make him cry? No, I can't make him cry because he's not real. He's a spawn of Satan. He doesn't have tear ducts. He's not real. He's like a Pegasus. I hate him.
On
I hate you more than your cheap blinds.
Hey, those blinds are $100.
Well, you know what? His degree from Vanderbilt's worth $98.
I can't believe you got that right. Because
I don't even think he went to Vanderbilt. I think he went online and like put it on his like Wikipedia or something. I've been to Dabo's house, not his new house. Yeah, I love how he said not his new house, but his old house.
While y'all was talking trash and everything, I was on the phone talking to the board of the CTS Enterprises Incorporated, and we just signed Brian Hayda to the CTS. He's going to be calling in every once in a while on the 3rd and 3, giving us updates. And Stingray, he's a big fan of yours. He's a big fan of yours. And his trailer right now, he called me up and texted me. He called me up and then texted me because I didn't pick up the phone for him. And he said that he's a big fan of yours and he's happy that you, because I told him that you wanted him to come on to CTS.
He's very happy. He's got pictures of me on his ceiling. What a freak.
Stingray, well, that's the price you pay to be a celebrity. Now, can we talk about
Stingray?
Can we talk about the sleepers, please? Because I got a good sleeper.
I like to put Dan in a sleeper.
Well, guys, week 4 is right here on the horizon. And Tom, you have been pissed off at Dan this entire time. Well, I think it's time that you're going to be pissed at old Stingray.
Don't do it. Don't do it because I'm about to do it. No, Stingray, do not take this from me. Do not take this from me. Do not take it from me. I was doing that one. Sting, don't do it. Pick another one. Pick another one, Stingray. Stingray, don't do it. Don't do it, Stingray.
Go ahead, Joey.
Go. You know what, Stingray? Go ahead and do it. I'll let you do it. Go ahead. I'm just going to back you up. I'm going to back you up, Stingray. Go ahead.
NC State is
Yes!
at home. A night game against Clemson. The Clemson offense is atrocious. Even though they have not given up a touchdown all season long, that ends Saturday night, and Vegas only has Clemson as a 10-point favorite. The second overall team in the preseason ACC poll finally upsets Clemson this Saturday night.
Put your ass down and listen to this knowledge. North Carolina State
and Raleigh is going down. Sorry, buddy.
I second that motion, baby. Yes. Clemson is going
After
down.
I whip Dan's ass, I'm coming after you two.
I love it. I had it played out, baby.
Not give us.
I wish we would have talked this before Dan came on. I would have ruined whatever relationship y'all got.
Okay, well, Mr.
What's your sleeper?
Austin
What's your sleeper?
316,
Hey,
what's your upset?
Yeah, what's your
My
sleeper?
upset? Dan's feelings.
I'm talking about football, bro.
I don't give a shit about life. Because even though I went a little soft at Dan, he's still going to be like laid up, like curled up in the bed, sucking on his thumb. I can't hear mean to me. You call me Dan Wolken. I'm Wolken. Went to Vanderbilt, play tennis. I don't drink
you're
spritzers.
just like all the other Clemson fans. You're obsessed with Dan Wolken. Chill out.
I'm obsessed with someone who spreads lies, and he ain't. Trust me, he ain't been to Clemson. I can guarantee you that. If he has, it was a while ago. It was not in the past 18 months. I can guarantee you that.
So, going ahead and enlighten us on your football upset this weekend.
Say
Let me
North
guess.
State.
Let me
Say
guess.
North Carolina State. You know Clemson's
guess.
gonna lose.
Southern Miss upsets Alabama, right?
Man, we all know that's not gonna happen. Come on.
I don't know why y'all heck on me like this. It's just I'm gonna take
It's
Mississippi
not
State.
happening. That's not
Shut
happening.
up. Shut up.
Shut up. You shut up. Mississippi State's playing an unranked team. That's like two ninth grade JV teams playing each other.
I'm taking Mississippi State against LSU. It's not really an upset.
That's not a sleeper. That's not a sleeper.
They're favored by 2.5. That's something.
That's not a. It's two unranked teams. That's two JV. That's two ninth grade JV teams playing each other. No, pick a freaking sleeper. North Carolina State.
Arkansas beats Texas A&M.
That's two ranked teams. That's two ranked.
I'll take that.
I'm giving you one.
I'm going through it, man. Jeez, I'm looking at the lines right now.
Colorado State.
Shut up.
That's your pick.
No.
That's your pick right there.
That will never happen.
Anyway.
Okay, wait, timeout. Can I just this isn't a sleeper pick, but Kentucky's only favored by 5 against South Carolina. I'm taking Kentucky -5. I'm gonna call that what it is. That's crazy. Florida 21 or 20 against Tennessee. That should be a fun game. That's a good rivalry.
What time is the North Carolina State game?
What?
What time's the North Carolina State game?
6 o'clock.
That's gonna be a good game.
3:30.
Is it? I thought it was a night game.
No, it's a 3:30 game.
Yeah, Clemson doesn't do prime time no more.
No, we don't. You're right. The way we're playing, we don't deserve prime time.
Well,
I'll be 100% with you.
Saturday. I said Saturday night. I screwed that up.
Okay.
The Saturday night game?
Since both of y'all are screwing everything up, why don't you close us out?
The Saturday night game is Oklahoma and West Virginia. And then North Carolina, Georgia Tech. Like it's Florida, Tennessee's a 7 o'clock game.
You know what? You said enough, Tom. I'm going to pick it for you.
You already picked. I gave him Colorado State.
It doesn't matter. This week it looks soft like Dan.
Okay, can I make a pick for you?
Sure.
West Virginia takes down Oklahoma.
Nah. Now you sound like Dan Wolken. You're just coming out. You're talking out.
It's not his name. We already
Dan Wolken. He's woke. Don't forget that.
Is it Woken or woke?
If you disagree with anything he says, you're.
I still don't know his last name. Honest to God, I know I introduced him.
It's Woken, like he's woke.
Okay, and then I said his name right.
Watch out, he'll cancel you. He'll write about you on USA Today and cancel you. You need to cancel those blinds.
Those $100 blinds. You know what? I'm going to report you to the board of the CTS Enterprises Incorporated.
You should. CC me on the email so I can vouch for what I just told you.
Stingray, close it out before I whoop his.
You're the reason Stingray has bad internet. Why he keeps coming in and out. He's always fuzzy all the daggone time.
Why do you say that?
Because his internet connection can't get through the gap on the beard. You don't grow in between.
Man,
we can't perform miracles, Joey. I'm not Jesus.
Clemson ain't
why don't you write to Dan Wolken and see if he can put together like an article for you and get his followers, all 4 of them, together.
The board is going to be here.
You need like a picket fence.
I'm about to send a very stern email
you
to
can
the
have
board.
like just a picket fence where people
CTS Enterprises Incorporated will definitely hear about this.
Beard lives matter.
Stay right, close us out, man.
Y'all make my blood pressure go up. I swear to God.
You've been reading Dan Wolken articles, haven't you? That's probably
actually it's that cholesterol and that barbecue you be eating making you.
Listen, don't put Dan's articles that evil on us. All right, your blood pressure's up because you're reading his lies. He's been to Dabo's house. What, did you deliver a pizza? Like, we joke about hairlines, but you see Dan's hairline? I've never seen it. It looked fake. Like, I was like, LeBron's even like, they don't look right.
Stay right, close us out, man.
On that note, I have one final thing to say. Thank you so much, Clemson Tom, for taking time out of your busy schedule a couple of weeks ago to join me on the Stingray Show. We had a blast, but I will tell you, you got some negative reviews.
Do what? You got good reviews?
You got negative reviews.
Oh, I did? Yeah, what did Dan Wolken write about me?
Everybody said was, that guy hates everybody.
I do hate everybody, and everybody means I hate Dan.
I actually thought show was good.
I thought I did okay. See, Dan's over there writing articles about me. I'm wearing Austin 316 because that's my favorite. That's my favorite wrestler. His favorite wrestler is probably Val Venus, or actually, his favorite wrestler is probably Goldust.
I was gonna say Goldust.
Goldust, hands down, is Goldust.
Sting, I will whoop.
His favorite wrestler is not Hulk Hogan. His favorite wrestler is easily Goldust, or it'd be like Stardust. Yeah, it would be Stardust.
Well, guys, that's going to do it for this edition of 3rd and 3. We hope that you guys
do not ever make fun of Hulk Hogan on the show again, Stingray.
I'll do whatever I want to because I'm owner of this now.
Oh shit! God, he comes in hot, don't he? Motherfucker, I don't even know how to take
like
it.
A hot pocket. Like a hot pocket.
Go ahead and close us out, sir. Close us out. Damn, we gotta go. I got kids to feed, and I don't even know the month.
Well, guys, that's going to do it for this edition of 3rd and 3. We hope that you guys have enjoyed it. And once again, Tom, thank you again for joining us tonight. I know that your schedule is always extremely busy. And Joey, thank you as well. We hope that all of you guys have enjoyed it. And as always, God bless. And one more thing before I go, and all of us go, whenever you watch the CTS, remember to feel like a champion.
We need to set up probably a GoFundMe so Dan can actually go to journalism school so he can actually be good at his job.
Good night, everybody.
Feel like a champion.
Not like Dan.